A family moves to a secluded cabin in the eerie town of Candlewood to rebuild their fractured relationships, only to find themselves trapped in a web of hallucinations and terrifying secrets. As they confront strange occurrences, they begin to question what's real and what's not, leading to a chilling and tragic conclusion. The movie opens in the eerie town of Candlewood near a quiet lake. On the shore, we see the dead bodies of an entire family. The father, holding a gun, appears to have killed his loved ones before turning the weapon on himself. It's a tragic and haunting scene that sets the tone for what's to come. Fast forward a few months, we meet the Barrington family. There's Kevin and Veronica, a married couple, along with Kevin's daughter, Sarah, from his first marriage, and Mateo, Veronica's son. The family has been struggling with tension and constant fighting, so they decide to move to a remote cabin in Candlewood to try and rebuild their bond. As they arrive at their new home, they're immediately hit by a strange, unpleasant smell in the air. This smell will play a crucial role later, so keep that in mind. Their real estate agent meets them there, and after showing them the house, she hands over the keys with a creepy smile. The family is a bit uneasy but hopeful as they start unpacking. Inside, they find the walls bare except for a shotgun propped up on one of them. This odd discovery leaves them questioning what it's doing there. Now Sarah, who's a lesbian, is struggling with leaving her girlfriend behind. Kevin tries to reassure her, explaining that they've all come here to strengthen their family ties, and it's important they get along. Later, Kevin heads to a local grocery store to grab some essentials. The cashier, a local woman, asks him where he's staying, and when he mentions the cabin by the lake, she seems visibly surprised. She knows the dark history of the place but doesn't say much, sending him off with a strange look. The next morning, Kevin asks Veronica how she slept, and she tells him she had a peaceful night, far away from the noise of the city. She mentions she called a cable technician to fix the internet, but he won't be arriving until tomorrow. Their kids, Sarah and Mateo, join them for breakfast. Sarah notices the Wi-Fi isn't working yet, and Veronica reassures her that the technician will fix it soon. During breakfast, Sarah suggests going for a jog, and to her surprise, Veronica happily agrees. This is the first time Sarah has invited her, and Veronica sees it as a chance to bond. Meanwhile, Kevin and Mateo decide to explore the neighborhood, but when they check out the nearby houses, they find them old and abandoned. Sarah and Veronica go for their jog and head into the woods, while Kevin and Mateo continue exploring. But things take a turn when Kevin is almost confronted by a wild woman pointing a gun at him, demanding to know where her son is. He's shocked, and the woman seems to mistake Mateo for her child. When Mateo runs away, the woman follows, calling after him, but they both escape unharmed. Later, Kevin meets a man named Eli, who claims to be the property manager. Eli tells Kevin that the mad woman has lived in the area for years. Years ago, her daughter, a Native American girl, fell in love with a white man's son. But their love was not accepted by society, and her father tried to force her to marry within her tribe. Unable to live without her lover, the girl jumped into the lake and drowned herself. Her lover followed suit, and it's said that their spirits still haunt the area. The story rattles Mateo, but Kevin reassures him and takes him back to the cabin. Meanwhile, while jogging in the woods, Sarah sees a girl's spirit in an old hut. She gets scared, but Veronica doesn't believe her, thinking it's just Sarah's imagination. Back at the cabin, Kevin feels uneasy about the shotgun on the wall and decides to store it away in a cupboard. Later, while cleaning outside, he notices some strange mushrooms growing in the soil. These mushrooms look unfamiliar, but he shrugs it off and continues with his chores. Suddenly, Kevin starts feeling dizzy, and he sees Eli running through the forest. When he blinks, Eli disappears. Mateo tells Sarah about the tragic story he heard from Eli, but she isn't interested. As Mateo walks away, he starts hallucinating, seeing the spirit of the girl from the story, which frightens him. That night, Kevin and Veronica discuss their day, but Veronica is still upset about Sarah. Kevin reassures her that they'll all get along soon. The next morning, Mateo eats a date during breakfast, but when Sarah sees it, she freaks out, thinking it's an eye. After Kevin reveals it's just a date, Sarah is even more upset and accuses Mateo of trying to scare her. Veronica arrives just in time to free someone, which makes Sarah really angry. She storms off, and we soon realize that everyone in the family is seeing things. Are there really spirits, or is something else going on? You'll find out later, so stick around. After a while, Kevin goes outside to chop wood. But then Eli shows up with a chainsaw, and Kevin gets scared. In his hallucination, he thinks Eli is there to hurt him, so he asks him what he wants. Eli reassures him that he's just there to help. Mayo, who is also seeing things, explains to Kevin that Eli is just trying to help. Meanwhile, a girl named Brandy shows up at their door. She tells Veronica she's their neighbor and that they can ask her for anything. When Brandy notices Kevin through the window, she asks who the handsome man is. Veronica gets jealous and quickly tells her that Kevin is her husband. Brandy, not holding back, mentions that she has a boyfriend who's a thief, and she wishes for a man like Kevin, one who takes care of his family. Veronica sees through her intentions and immediately asks her to leave. Kevin tells Eli that he saw Brandy walking through the forest, and Eli dismisses it as just Kevin's imagination. When Brandy leaves, she greets Kevin, which angers Veronica even more, so she goes inside, seething with jealousy. Later, while Mayo is working outside, he sees a spirit coming toward him from the forest. He gets scared and tells his father, but when his dad checks, there's no one there. That night, Mayo tells his sister Sarah about the strange things he's been seeing. She asks if he told their father, and he says no because their dad doesn't believe him. Sarah admits that she's been feeling uneasy too, then goes to take a bath. Later, Kevin comes downstairs and notices someone standing by the window. He's shocked, but when he turns on the light, no one's there. He goes back to bed, but Mayo hears strange noises in his room and is scared. He thinks it's a spirit, and when Sarah comes out after her bath, she sees someone standing by the window too. She gets startled, but when she checks again, the figure is gone. She feels dizzy and notices her hand is cut, which frightens her, and she screams. That night, Mayo hears noises again and opens his eyes to see a spirit standing in front of him. He screams, and his family rushes to his room. But they don't believe him, telling him it's just a nightmare. The next day, they sit down to discuss what's going on. Everyone has seen something strange, but they're not sure if it's real or just their imagination. Kevin insists the house isn't haunted, but Mayo accuses his mom of marrying Kevin for his money, calling her a gold digger. This makes Veronica angry, and she almost hits him, but Kevin stops her. The next morning, Veronica checks the mailbox but finds no mail. Brandy shows up again, saying hello, and talks to Kevin, which makes Veronica even more upset. She orders Kevin to stop talking to her, but Kevin tells her there's no harm. Veronica watches them from the window, growing more jealous. Eventually, she storms outside and slaps Brandy, telling her to leave. Brandy laughs as she leaves, clearly provoking Veronica on purpose. Later, Kevin sees Eli in the forest again, so he grabs a stick and heads out to confront him. But by the time he gets there, Eli has disappeared. At dinner, the family starts to lose their patience, and Kevin sees Eli again in the jungle. This time, he takes a torch to shine it through the woods, but when he looks, he sees 3 different people. None of them are real. Veronica, losing control, gets more angry and frustrated. When Sarah asks why the internet isn't working, Veronica picks up a knife and cuts Sarah's hand. Kevin rushes in, stops Veronica, and forces her to take medicine so she can sleep. The next morning, Kevin hears a girl screaming in the woods. When he investigates, he finds Brandy with a sprained leg and agrees to help her. She asks him to take her home, and on the way, she seduces him. Just as they're about to kiss, Brandy stops and reminds him that he's married. She leaves, and Kevin feels ashamed. Back home, Kevin gives Venica more medicine to keep her subdued. Then, he grabs a shotgun and heads to Eli's house, demanding to know why Eli keeps showing up at his property. Eli insists it's just Kevin's imagination, but Kevin is convinced. He warns Eli that next time he'll shoot him. Later, Mayo hears more noises outside and assumes it's a spirit. That night, Kevin sees Eli again in the forest and gets so angry that he grabs a gun. When they all go outside, they start seeing different people, but they're all just hallucinations. Venica gets scared when she sees Kevin holding a gun, so she hides behind a tree. Kevin sees Eli in the woods and goes to shoot him, but when he does, he realizes too late that he's actually shot his own daughter. He looks around and sees Eli again, so he shoots again, this time killing his son. Horrified, Kevin realizes what he's done. He starts searching for Veronica, eventually finding her by a lake. He asks her to come to him, but Veronica, holding a knife, looks like she might attack. Kevin, thinking she's dangerous, hugs her and assures her everything will be okay. But then Veronica stabs him in the neck. He manages to grab the gun and shoots her, killing her. The next morning, Eli is seen collecting mushrooms from the forest. He grinds them into a powder and puts them in a jar. Brandy appears and calls him Papa. It's revealed that she's actually his daughter, and they had planned everything to make the family go mad. They used poisonous mushrooms to make the family hallucinate. The mushrooms' scent caused the family to lose their minds, and in their anger, they killed each other. In the final scene, we learn that Eli and Brandy are part of a group of Native Americans who hated the city people. They would use the mushrooms to make new families hallucinate and kill each other as revenge for the way the city people treated their ancestors.